All right, welcome back. So now we get to talk about like the poetry and the really exciting stuff, at least for me. So you seem to be an artist who cares a lot about lyricism, and you, as you mentioned earlier, you have some background in poetry as well. And as you know, We Soft Love Literary is a literary magazine, so we love our poets and writers. So I mean, okay, first I just want to ask you, like, who are some poets that influence you, or maybe just like speak to you on a personal level, and how?
Honestly, I know that she's not like technically a poet, but Taylor Swift's lyricism really,
Yeah.
really blew my socks off as like an 11-year-old and still to this day, 10 years later of separation. Like, yeah, folklore, that is a literary masterpiece. And I love the figurative language that she uses. It's just, it's very impressive and it inspires me to try and learn big words and be better.
No, I mean, the big project that you're working on, right? It's got like storyline and different perspectives. It's definitely, you know, it gives off. Yeah, I think you might have taken some inspiration from Taylor.
100%. It's very folklore coded.
Yeah. Okay, well, I think that's gonna get a lot of people excited. So,
Yeah, that's interesting that you brought up poetry. It's been a long time since I'd even like thought about it really. I did take like a poetry class and I had to have this like portfolio of everything I worked on throughout the semester and I was really proud of it, but I was just like I have like nothing to do with this. I have like no reason to like talk about it. So it's really interesting. I guess I knew that you were like a literary magazine and stuff, but I've just been loving your posts on like the Barbie movies and stuff. Just reviewing them. I was like, I love this because I'm a huge old Barbie movie fan. Like mine was the Diamond Castle, which of course that's the music one. Like that was
yeah.
like, wait, there's something to this. Sorry, sidetrack. Just wanted you to know I've been lurking and
Oh my God, I didn't know. Actually, like some of us were, because you got like 30K, right? And we were wondering, like, we didn't expect you to reply to us, you know?
what?
Yeah.
Why? That's still so silly to me. Like if you knew like if you and I guess I also didn't realize beforehand that you weren't like a Phoenix local company because a lot of the ones that I've worked with have been local and I think that's why like it just blows my mind that I don't know you thought that because everyone like in the Phoenix scene is just like just so chill just like yeah whatever like we'll do it. It's a mutually beneficial thing like I can't imagine why I wouldn't want to do something like I mean yeah, no, it's just of course I wanted to do it, especially like seeing all the ways that you interact with like women and just like make it feel like a community of girlhood. I'm all about that. So, yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah. We have a lot of Taylor Swift listeners as well, just team, so.
The smartest people, you should be proud.
No, well, I mean, we're honored to have you here.
Oh, thank
So
you.
thank you. Um, so you're definitely right up our alley, for our audience as well. Uh,
Yay.
yeah, it's amazing. Okay, do you still write poetry, or would you say it's mostly just music, like the music process, basically?
One could argue all songs are poetry without the music. I do sometimes write like poetry just for the sake of words, though. Some of them don't necessarily feel right to put to music, especially like my biggest challenge writing poetry in my course was like leaving the rhyming behind because that feels so natural to me to do. And to write poetry that didn't rhyme was like probably my biggest challenge ever.
Yeah, you got that talent, you got that gift. Yeah, you can't believe it.
And my professor didn't consider it a gift, but I appreciate you for saying that.
Well, yeah, it's good to try different things, I suppose.
For
So
sure.
yeah, okay. Um, so I mean, I guess you already kind of answered that with Taylor Swift, but I was gonna ask, do you take inspiration from any other musicians? And what stands out to you about them? If there's anyone else you want to talk about.
Definitely like a lot of like I said, I take mostly inspiration from independent female artists. Like it's not that I don't like listen to male artists at all. I just don't feel the same connection to their sound because of like their aren't the same lived experiences that like there's some things you could try to explain to a man, but like you haven't they're not the same lived experiences. So I feel really connected to songs that were written by women. So people like Billie Eilish, I'm very inspired by, especially when I was hearing her early stuff, like the experimental nature of her production with her brother Phineas, and just her metaphors were really solid. I remember hearing like telephone effects and like baby voice effects and just like the most random synth noises. And I was just like, I didn't even know you could do all of that. So that was very inspiring to like take it outside any specific genre. But yeah, you're right. I am very lyricism heavy over anything else. So anyone with really solid lyrics that make you think, and once they hit you, you like
Yeah.
mind explode. Those are my favorite types of songs. So yeah, I've definitely been like broadening my horizons more, but pretty much every independent female artist you can think of is one of my favorite artists. Like I mentioned two of the most mainstream ones, but like Lizzie McAlpine, Biba Doobie, like I listened to Melanie Martinez when I was younger, like just
Yeah.
a lot, a lot of independent female artists. And that's just literally that's my vibe. That is my jam.
No, you're n naming a lot of good stuff. Um, yeah, and with Billie Eilish, like I can also kind of relate to that as well because I became a fan pretty early on. I try not to brag about it, but
But bragging rights, you have the right to.
yeah. So yeah, she was definitely she was doing a lot of new things,
Oh
she
yeah.
has something and absolutely loved it. Okay. So okay, I'm gonna move on to a little bit more about your band and your bandmates. So, in this interview and also like in the past, from what I've seen, you seem to speak very highly of them and have a very good relationship with them, which is very, of course, wholesome to see. So can you tell us a bit about, how you came to know them and, how you guys came to create this wonderful band?
Yeah, so pretty much everybody I met through my like ASU pop music program, which is like honestly the biggest gift I could have gotten from like other than a little piece of paper with my name on it. Like I
Yeah.
could not have asked for a better gift to find people who play the instruments that I needed and who were such good people, genuinely, and um, so talented and so willing to be a part of my project. I obviously don't have a lot of money to give. If we make money from a show, I'll distribute it, but I don't have just like an endless stream of revenue. I'm a college student. So the fact that they just do it because they love it is just really humbling. Of course, I speak highly of everybody in my band. They are the most amazing people ever. And yeah, we all met through the program pretty much, and it just works. We really like playing live together and stuff. And yeah, they do their best to help me in like other ways. Of course, like I'm running the social media accounts and I try to get them involved in that as much as I can, but yeah, for the summer, everyone's pretty much dispersed in their different places, like different hometowns, different opportunities they're taking musically. So I've been recording a lot of the music, like and like subbing in on different instruments as much as I can. But yeah, I love them all dearly, and they're all great people, and you should follow them everywhere.
Thank you so much, for telling us about that. And we're excited to see you guys back together for, your projects coming up. Okay. So I think we're about to finish up because, you already told, we've talked a little bit about what's coming up. So before we really start to end it here, I want to give you an opportunity maybe to share anything that's important to you or that you want to reach, our audience or just the world, I guess, right? Um, because I know you also don't shy away from social issues such as misogyny in the industry, for example, right? So is there anything that you would like us to raise awareness about, or even just some encouraging words that you can share?
Yeah, as much as people on my page really don't like when I speak up about those things, and I have lost thousands and thousands of followers, like I don't want those people anywhere near my page. And I'm so, so glad that you guys reached out to me for an interview because I think you do have a very female-based audience, and those are the people I'm looking for. I got a really like bad Instagram insights after posting this like bass video where I find that playing male-dominated instruments as a woman makes men really angry, and it's more like rage bait than anything, where they start engaging more than anyone else. And like insights were like 90% men and 10% women, and it was my worst nightmare. So, if I could say anything to your audience, I just want to say like, ladies and girls, I am here for you. I will always stand for you. Like as many men seem to be on my page. It is not my preference that it's that way, and I will always speak out for you because you are what matters to me.
We're all gonna flock there, and you gotta change it, okay?
I'm like, Kiki, oh my gosh, please. Please. I literally made a video not too long ago where I was like, I will give away this ukulele if you can get me back to 50-50 insights. So, I mean, hey, one lucky winner. If I'm back to over 50% women at some point, we'll get a free ukulele. It's really pretty.
Okay, well, we'll be a part of that, process, that goal. Okay.
I told you, it's very mutually beneficial because man, these men are wild. I'm sick of it.
It's so, I mean, it's so sad that like just, you're doing what you love, playing bass or electric or whatever, and it's just seen as controversial, right? Like you described it as like rage bait.
Yes. Or
It,
it's an opportunity to like hypersexualize someone you've never met, and it's very weird. Like again, like you can go on my page and see any of that, but exclusive story from today, this very day, I have been posting, I've been working on like drawing and painting on this little box. It's like an orca, and I've been like adding things that people want me to add, like a chef hat and a spatula and like a beach setting. So like I'll like let people decide what I want to add to it, even though I'm not the best artist. It's just fun. And I decided I wanted to fill it up with a bunch of like nice little notes because today is my late grandmother's birthday and we lost her in the fall. And so I was like, hey, like put a nice note and I'll write it and put it in Tim's box. And the first one I got was like, you're sexy. And I was like, time and place. Oh my gosh. Like, it's just, so, anyways, if I could say anything, just ladies, please give me a chance because I only care about you. That's
well, we'll be right behind you. Okay, we'll support you.
it. Thank you, Pilot. I appreciate that.
Thank you so much. Um, okay. I think that's a really nice message to end it on. Um, and I guess all that's left to ask is, where can we find you and your band? So,
So all social media like Instagram, TikTok, X, YouTube is going to be Marloma Official, and that is Marloma. On streaming platforms like Spotify, Apple Music, SoundCloud, it's just going to be Marloma, Marloma. I have a lot of technically unreleased stuff on SoundCloud that was produced by me. And although it's not the most professional, I'm still very proud of it. So if you want to check out some of that kind of like underground Marloma stuff, that'd be the place to go. But yeah, Spotify and Apple Music, your favorite streaming platform, I'm there just as Marloma.
well, thank you so much.
Thank
And,
you. This
I'm
was
sure
a beautiful chat.
yeah, it was, uh, I didn't think I was gonna have this much fun.
Oh, that's so sweet. I'm really glad to hear it.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. Thanks for, sharing with us about your work, all the stories you told us. Thank you.
I'm
Uh,
really looking forward to seeing the final product. Thank you for giving me the chance to speak today.
we're very like we're new, so we'll do our best.
I believe in you. I'm very excited.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
Everyone. Bye. Yes. Yes. Hello.
Hey.
So, um, I want to start with just, who you are, your background, your history, stuff like that. So we can start with your name choice of Merloma, which I've heard comes from a place called Loma Mar. Is that right? From your
That's
childhood?
correct.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. It's like it's this teeny tiny town in the middle of the redwoods in Northern California. And it's two words, Loma and then Mar. I think the population last time we checked this year was 134 people. It's like,
Wow.
yeah, it's very out there. There's no like cell service. It's really like miles away from anything. And my great grandparents like built this tiny cabin that's probably the size of like a king bed mattress. It's not, it's
Okay.
like really small. My whole family goes there every summer and we all sleep in the same room and we like it's basically like camping. And I just wanted to dedicate my music to my biggest supporters who are my family. That was the place where I got to spend the most consistent time with my family, because we moved around like a ton and my dad was always like
Mm.
working. And it was just every summer I had that place to go home to, it felt like, and everyone could just hang out and have a good time. So, yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's that whole story is also making me very nostalgic as well. My grandparents also built their own house, and it was like a small, like like
So
two room.
special that.
Yeah. It's awesome. Okay, so and I was gonna ask you about like why that place is important to you. So I'm getting some. You already kind of answered that, right? So it was a place where you could spend time with your family, and that's amazing. And where do you live now? Are you still in California or?
No, I'm in Phoenix, Arizona.
Yeah. Okay, okay, okay. Yeah, I couldn't really find information about that, so I had to clarify. Okay,
I'm
okay.
more clear about that. That's a
Yeah,
good, that's a
yeah,
good like piece of advice. I should probably put that somewhere.
yeah.
But yeah,
Uh,
I'm in Phoenix.
yeah. And so I heard that you and your band try to, give back to the community, in the form of, I think, local mental health charities. Is that right? So,
You did your research.
yeah, I really did. Sorry. Because I want to get as much out of you as possible,
Like,
um, as much as you're comfortable with.
oh,
Um, and why is that important to you? Would you say that that's also an important part of why you even make music in the first place? Why is that how you want to give back to the community?
yeah, I think there's a lot that kind of goes into why I chose this as a career path.
Mhm.
And obviously, mental health is like a huge issue that I believe in helping. And I believe that like music is more powerful than it is just like, I don't know, helpful. Like it can definitely be helpful, but it also has the power to change things for people. And on top of that, not only do I want to make music that is going to help and empower people, I also want to, while doing that, like actually do something on top of it, actually give to like
Yeah,
foundations that are um helping. And I don't know what your next questions are going to be, so I'm trying to like I don't know how much like I should give away for this one question because I I have this one like life-changing moment of why I decided that music was an important enough career to go into. And I always say that I make music for younger women because all the like independent female artists that I listened to growing up made me feel really understood, and I would love to give back in that way. But as much as I feel that that's important, like matching your actions to your words and actually like
absolutely. Yeah.
donating to these causes is also important to me.
Yeah. No, I mean, I respect a person who's, putting their money where their mouth is, right? So, um, and absolutely feel free to share why you decided to go into the industry, the story, the really important moment that you're referring to.
Yeah, I mean, well, I get asked like that question every time I'm like interviewed about music. It's like, why did you decide to do it? And so I always know, I can always pinpoint the exact moment because I always liked writing poetry and then I liked singing, and so I decided to put them together and write songs and learn instruments. Um, but when I was 14, I had this really awesome friend who she was also 14, and our freshman year of high school, she passed away from a rare form of cancer. And um, I had been writing a lot of songs at that time, so I wrote one just in her honor. And her mom ended up hearing it and asked me to play it at her celebration of life. And it was the most horrible and like awful thing that could have possibly happened. Everyone was a wreck the entire day. And when I got up to perform my tribute to her, I was able to kind of like, I don't know, it didn't feel like as gut-wrenching as before. It felt more like I was making a connection and I could see the way everybody in the room was brought together in that moment. And of course, right after, we all lost it again. But I remember her mom like hugging me and just saying thank you. And I really like, I couldn't imagine what there was for her to be thankful for in that moment. And that's kind of when I decided that like I'd always held the belief beforehand that music wasn't like an important career choice like being a doctor or something like where you're like actively saving lives, but I kind of thought like it's important in another way, and so it's worth pursuing.
Yeah. No, that's absolutely powerful. I mean, um, I can tell that you've told this story many times as you're telling it. And, I think it's a powerful one. I think, you should keep telling it. Uh, yeah, the sentiment that like art isn't important is just very common, right? And so hearing stories like this, um, I think can really speak to a lot of people,
Yeah,
help them
yeah,
understand.
and I will say I have told that story a lot, but I will give you a bit of information that I've yet to give up. A lot of people also ask me, like I'm sure you've noticed a lot of green on my page, like every
Yeah.
outfit I wear on stage, every, my bass, my like artworks are a lot of the time they're green, and most people assume that started when I released Lomamar and it was about like the redwood trees and stuff. And
Yeah.
I say that sometimes, but a lot of the green that I wear is bright green, and I decided to make the project completely like that color coded because that was her favorite color, and that was the color of her eyes, and I wrote that in the song that I wrote for her. And yeah, I haven't given that piece of information away yet.
Oh, that's so beautiful. Thank you for, sharing that with me.
I mean, yeah, like the project is supposed to be for things that are bigger than myself, like dedicating it to my family and the color scheme being dedicated to her. And so it's just important that it's not just me being like, listen to my feelings, it's for something bigger than that.
Yeah, that's absolutely powerful. I mean, um, yeah, just thank you for sharing that. I don't think I need to do any follow-ups there. Okay.
Thank you for giving me the space to share.
Yeah. But I gotta ask you, are there any events coming up where you'll be doing something like that, related to like the charities or just where we can see you perform in general?
So that's a great question. We have been playing absolutely nonstop this year, but
Amazing.
we have decided to like halt performing until like the biggest show of hopefully our careers. I'm going into my senior year of college studying pop music,
Okay.
and I'm working on a huge project all year. I'm going to be collaborating with all types of people, animators, filmmakers, film like screenwriters, just like tons of things. So we are halting live performances at this time until April of 2026, and we are going to put together the most insane show we have
Okay.
ever done put to celebrate the release of this giant project that I've been working on for 5 years already, and am hoping to complete
Wow.
by April of 2026. And the reason we're halting shows is not just so we can put all of our energy there, but to
Okay.
build suspense, to get people like interested
Mm.
in coming to the show, to make sure it is like a packed house and the
Mhm.
hype is up. So, yeah, for that reason, stay tuned for April 2026.
Okay, okay. And we'll put your information so they know where to look. Um, can I, well, is there anything that you can share about this project?
Yeah, like you had mentioned, a lot of my releases and things that I decide to do with music, I want to be about a bigger cause than myself or just my feelings. And this is an entire storyline I've crafted with multiple songs from multiple different character perspectives
Mhm.
that highlights a storyline that revolves around a metaphor for addiction and struggling
Oh,
with those. So I'm really hoping to work with another charity for that release as well. And I'm trying my best to talk to people who have actually like experienced this in a way that it has changed their lives because I witnessed things like that secondhand, but I really want to make sure that I'm doing it justice in the way that it's written. Um, so I want to make sure I'm doing that like in a sensitive and delicate way while also releasing something that's going to be good for the community.
Hmm, hmm, hmm. Okay, this is absolutely amazing. Okay. So I guess we just got to stay tuned. That sounds really exciting. So I'm hearing about you're working with animators, filmmakers. I mean, so
I hope so. I'm
yeah.
really putting all my eggs in this basket. Like if there was anything you should listen to from me, I'm hoping it'll be that. Candidly, I finished the second song of the EP today and I'm really excited. So,
Okay. We'll
yeah,
keep an eye out.
happening.
So okay, so you've uh, halted performances at the moment. Are you going to be releasing any like songs or anything else leading up to it?
I 100% think so. Yeah, there are songs that a lot of my fans know have been a long time coming because they've been played at every show, but they haven't been released yet. So we've been working on a lot of that stuff behind the scenes, and I'm hoping to just like get them out all
Okay.
year. And
Okay. So we're anticipating a lot.
yeah, it's gonna be a good year.
Yeah, okay. Okay, that's amazing. Okay, so I wanted to ask, with that in mind, um, I guess you said a lot about this already. But what are some other reasons that you make music? But if there is anything else at this point, and where do you get your inspiration? Whether that's like other artists or your experiences, is it mainly um that? Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, of course, like a big passion of mine is making sure that on top of how much I enjoy doing music, that it's actually doing something for people and like I'm actually doing something with like any money that I make from music, which is not a lot, but it's something. Um, but of course, I just started because I love it. I love writing. Writing is like always been my biggest passion. And when I found that like adding music behind my poetry made it like it like felt it hit deeper. It made it like more intense and very like just a more all-encompassing experience that was really fascinating to me and like using something called prosody in songs. I learned that in a songwriting class where if I'm like saying the word up, then like the melody goes high and like subconsciously that makes people like feel the word that you're saying in like by
Mhm.
hearing it happen musically as well. That's something I've found that like really allows me to express my creativity and is really fun to experiment with. Um, it just like it's what gets me up in the morning. It's the only thing that I can do, songwrite and try to produce my songs for like days at a time and like forget about basic bodily functions like sleeping and eating. And that's like those are my two other favorite hobbies. So the fact that I can forget about it while I'm making music is like that shows me how much I care about it and like I like not only like that's my favorite part of it, but I also really like learning instruments. I'm sure you've seen I've I took a year of drum lessons. I took a year of bass lessons. I did some rigorous classical piano training in my early college days. Play acoustic and electric guitar, ukulele. I'm a
Wow.
Kala affiliate, which is really exciting, but it fascinates me to learn music theory and all that stuff behind it. So everything about it I just love. I can't imagine doing anything else. I would be a terrible artist. I would be a terrible engineer. So good thing I'm doing.
I mean, like I was gonna say, right, from the earlier from the story that you told us, um, it almost sounds like you had no choice, right? You had that, like
What
you had
it?
to do it.
That's what it feel. That's really what it felt like.
You
Yeah.
got the gift. Yeah, and that's
Thank you. That's really sweet. Um, yeah. Oh, I also wanted to mention, as far as live performances go, we're halting any in like Phoenix, but we we really do at some point this year want to get out to California to play a show. So we feel like we might have oversaturated the Phoenix market a little by playing like four
Mm.
shows a month all year. But yeah, but I also knock on wood, I don't want to jinx myself because that's a lot of ambition for one year to like multiple EPs and like also go on a tour. So I would really like to. If we play a show this year before April 2026, it will not be in Arizona.
Okay, okay. So maybe keep an eye out for California, but we're not gonna hold our breath. We're gonna hold our breath for everything else.
Yeah,
Which is which is enough as it is, you know.
exactly. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I'm gonna get back to you about like poetry as well because we are a literary magazine. So yeah, but before we do that, I gotta ask you a little bit more about your just process, your creative process. So you mentioned something. So you talked a little bit about prosody, if I'm saying it right.
Right,
And
yeah.
okay. Um, so can you give us a little insight into what your creative process looks like? How do you get started? Um, what do you start with?
Totally. It usually does involve an instrument first now, whether that's a guitar or a piano are usually the ones that I'll start with. And I've always said that I don't really know how I'm feeling until the song comes out. It's really like you said, it feels like there's not a choice. Like I sit down and the words come out as I'm playing, as I find these chord progressions or interesting lead lines that I like. The words just start coming out, and miraculously, they always rhyme, and that's really great. But then I sit there with like a finished song after that. They come out at the same time, the music and the lyrics. And I look at it and I'm like, oh, so that's the kind of day I had. I really didn't know that before I just like sat there and read these lyrics, but it's literally the way that I get like, that I can understand myself. It's the way that I know what my feelings are after I'm going through it all. So I think that's a really beautiful way just to like process my emotions is like I can't really get into my head the way that like a song can get it out. I don't know.
Yeah, that sounds really interesting. I mean, it's certainly uh, helping you as well. As
Yeah.
well as
Oh, totally. Like for my mental health sake, I know journaling is like a big thing for people just getting their thoughts onto paper. And I think it's the same, but I get to feel a sense of accomplishment for stringing words together in a way that I'm proud of, like figuratively and also like rhythmically and sonically. So,
no. I think a lot of artists can relate to that, to be honest, in one way or another. And I think that's one of the great things about being an artist, right? Is you get to feel accomplished from doing something that's really enriching to you as well. Yeah.
100%. I think enriching is a really good word for it. I like that word choice.
As for your music, right? So how would you describe it to somebody who's maybe never heard it before?
I think my bio right now says sad girl indie pop rock. And I think that's a
Yeah.
great way to describe it on
Yeah.
because I don't know, I mean, all of my music is deeply emotional, of course.
Mhm.
Like I feel like I've never really connected with songs that are about how nonchalant one is because I'm like, in for me personally, like I wouldn't write a song about something I'm not like that I'm nonchalant about. So if it's like even if like it's a fun song for a moment where it's like, I don't care about my ex at all, and it's just like, but you sat there and you wrote this song. You probably do. Everything I write, I care deeply about. So I think that's where the sad girl comes from. And genre-wise, I definitely gear towards acoustic pop sometimes, which is where like the indie comes from, but I also really like to have this like rough edge to me in live performance settings where I can like run around the stage and growl and like do all these like fun
Mhm.
things. So yeah, I know a lot of artists like hate to like limit themselves to just one, where if I said that I'm like a pop artist and then I showed up like, I don't know, doing all those things, it's like it doesn't really make sense. So I tried to find a label that like will encompass all of the things that I like to experiment with. But
Well, I mean, the best way to find out is to just listen, right? At the end of
I
the day.
get, yeah, I mean, hopefully a lot of because a lot of the stuff we've played at live shows have not been released yet. So the Phoenix local scene knows a totally
Hmm.
different side to Marloma than like the people online, you know?
So
But there's like performance clips that where you can kind of see. that edge come out, but the music that's released is still pretty tame, I would say. But hopefully that
Mhm.
changes this year.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the rest of the world's gonna find out, you know?
Yeah, in
Yeah.
due time, in due time.
Yeah. No, that's and you know, I like that you seem to be very honest with your work, right? You don't, yeah.
Bye. No, I don't know if there's another way to do it. Like, I think people can immediately tell when something's inauthentic, and I just don't have a desire to try to be. Like I said, like even admitting that I care so much is like not the cool thing to do. I feel like I see a lot of
Yeah.
like pop interviews who are like, yeah, whatever, like oh, it's what it is. And I'm sure they do care, but like I've just never felt nonchalant about anything in my entire life. Ever.
Oh,
So
that's amazing. I mean, yeah, your stuff sounds right up my alley personally. So, you know,
oh,
I
I'm so
entirely
happy to hear that,
yeah,
Violet. Thank you.
yeah, no, I entirely agree with your sentiment personally. So, yeah,
I really appreciate hearing that.
yeah. Okay. So, we have an idea of like what you're working on. I guess you could say in the short term, right? Up until 2026. Um, do you have any long-term goals of, you know, just basic ideas? You know, what are some plans?
Totally. Well, like I said, it's my last year of college, so
Hmm.
after this, I have to go out and find a big girl job, whatever that would mean for me. But I'm minoring in digital marketing and film and content creation. Those are my two minors that I will be graduating with. And I have found through trying to promote my music that I really do love content creation and filming and connecting with people that way.
Hmm.
So I think you can definitely expect me to continue on that path and try to grow my pages. And,
Yeah.
I like helping people. I like providing those free tutorials on instruments
Yeah,
that
I
like
saw
really
those.
do.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think that's a really cool like piece of selfless content that I can give while at the same time in return like asking for people to give me a shot and listen to my music.
yeah, yeah,
If I can at least, if I can give them a free resource and then also prove that I am musically capable in a video, that seems to accomplish enough. So,
absolutely. Yeah.
so
Okay.
yeah, you can expect me to continue posting and possibly even working with other people or companies to help grow their pages and stuff. But as far as my personal project goes, you can always expect me to be recording and writing and releasing music. I have
Okay.
over 200 songs in the vault right now that if I just had the resources and the money to release, they would already be out. So there's
Okay.
a lot.
Well,
You can always expect to hear something from Marloma. That's
okay.
for, but I would really like to get closer to California after college. I've
Mhm.
always loved it there, obviously, Loma Mar. I love the beach, and I know it's a really good spot to be for music. So
Yeah,
you can
for
expect
sure.
me there, whether it's temporary or permanent. I don't know yet.
All right. Well, you know, the world is your oyster. So, yeah,
Appreciate
well,
that.
yeah, it's great to hear that, you know, you're at least going to keep making music. So, amazing. We're
Absolutely.
going to keep hearing from you. All right. Um, okay, so I wanted to ask about a few specific songs.
Sure.
Okay, so you know what would you say was your inspiration behind Smoking Candle?
Oh my gosh. Um, that was my first project in college, and it was a production project. So I was like programming drums for the first time. I was experimenting with the little layer sounds, all the little
Mhm.
background harmonies and vocals.
Mhm.
Um, But it was another situation where, I was writing and the words came out. And afterwards, I realized it was because I'd just gotten out of this 3 year long relationship. And I sat there, and the song that I wrote, basically, the thesis of that song was I am so terrified to fall in love. I do not want like a single person looking my way in that manner. Everyone stay away from me. I am officially avoidant attachment style. Like, this is my announcement. Um, and but towards the end, I found myself daydreaming about someone who might be able to break those walls down because obviously, like, I'm not a heartless soul. Like, of course, I'm a lover girl, and of course, I want that one day. But just the fear came out first, and but I I wanted to like put it in a really fun and silly way that wasn't such a heavy like, God, I'm so scared. But yeah, that smoking candle, like the metaphor of that is like, um like a candle going out and you're left with just like the smoke. Doesn't smell quite as good, doesn't feel too good in your lungs, doesn't feel good in your eyes or your face, and you're left with all those, all the trauma from the
Yeah.
ways that you were hurt. And I was like, I don't want that again. And then at the end, I call it a trick candle because it never goes out. Cheesy, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. No, that's well, I mean, I'm so sorry. I dropped something.
That's
Anyway,
okay. You're good.
um, well, where are you at now? So that was a while ago, I assume, right? Writing Smoking Candle.
Yeah, I definitely feel a lot more secure in just myself enough to like agree that I am worthy of good, healthy love. And, you know, I'm open to it 100%. It's not something that I'm gonna like, like push away, when it's there. So I definitely feel like I just needed a year to be angry. And then I mellowed out a little bit. Just everything takes time.
Yeah, 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 no, and I mean you got to give yourself that space to really process that. So, I'm glad song your songs were there for you, right?
A lot of them I found feel like like fulfilling prophecies where I like write about these fears and then I'm like, but you don't gotta worry about that. And then, you know, so I think that's a really cool thing about songwriting too.
Yeah. No, I can relate to that as well. I mean, I'm no songwriter, but uh, you know, my art as well. So I think a lot of people can relate to that. Um, I the other song I wanted to ask about is Winter Autopilot, which I think I've already heard a little bit about. Like it's about seasonal depression, I think, right?
Yeah.
So you can tell me a little bit about what the inspiration was.
Yeah, I wrote that for a songwriting class and I was really deep into my classical piano phase at that point, so that's why
Mm.
there's that huge, like breakdown piano solo that I took inspiration from one of my workbooks. I think it might have been Chopin, I'm not sure, but I don't remember. I'll have to find I think I posted the exact solo I took inspiration from. But and then my band came in and they turned it into like a crazy big like rock build like with the classical piano and I thought that was so cool and like it just feels like one of my most unique songs. Like everything these days feels regurgitated, and that felt like something original. And that was
Mm.
a really cool feeling. And it was a collaborative process. Most of my songs, like I wrote, I decided everything that went into it. I had specific parts written for everyone. They all got to compose on it and like add their own little touch. And I thought that was a really fun, like, lesson for me to learn how to do that because I didn't have collaborators before. But yeah, I wrote it about seasonal depression, and I think the lyrics are very like metaphorical, and I'm also really proud of them. And they're uncomfortable at times, which is also something that I feel proud of because it's not a comfortable feeling to have the sun go away for months and be like, why do I hate being alive all of a sudden? Like it's so strange. It's also my longest song. I think it hit 5 minutes. So, you can also look for a radio edit that is about 2 minutes and 50 seconds long, coming on the 1 year anniversary of Winter Autopilot, with a music video.
Oh my God. Okay, so when is that? You said the 1 year anniversary.
1 year anniversary is the first week of November. So
Okay,
that's
okay, okay.
when you can expect it with an alternate cover. I'm very excited. I've been planning that for a long time as well.
Okay, that's amazing. Um and it sounds like because it was such a collaborative project, right? It's a good way to get to know like the entire band. Um
Totally.
Good. Yeah, yeah, that's amazing. Okay. It would be a good introduction, maybe.
Yeah. If nothing else, that's 100%. It's like I got to know all their personal styles. Everything that they'd ever listened to came out in like their
Mhm.
compositions. So it was really beautiful.